Hello and welcome to the Property News on Magic Bricks Now, India's first property business channel. I'm Amita Balachandra. Let's take a look at the top headlines at this hour. Maharashtra government puts on hold a circular that directs police to file FIRs against errant builders. Developers say such a directive would have made them easy targets. Angry home buyers, on the other hand, wait for the government to decide. Meanwhile, our relentless campaign against rampant project delays in Delhi NCR yields results. The Haryana CM Manohar Lal Khattar will meet home buyers in Gurgaon for the third time on Thursday. Magic Bricks Now gets you an update on the action taken on ground. And in Pune, new development control rules could give developers wings to go higher. The proposed rules will allow developers to construct taller buildings at a price. And in a bid to cool down angry Mumbaikars, Mumbai Civic Body Commissioner Ajay Mehta comes up with an ambitious solution. Potholes will be repaired within 48 hours of the BMC receiving your complaint. Magic Bricks Now does a ground check. Straight up to a Magic Bricks Now exclusive, we told you 3 days ago on Magic Bricks Now that the Maharashtra police had taken note of our relentless campaign against project delays. Now, the DGP of Maharashtra had in fact issued a circular asking all the police stations across Maharashtra to take project delays seriously and, where needed, file FIRs against developers. Now we learn that the circular has been put on hold by the state government. Ruchi Deshpande, in fact, joins us with more details. Ruchi, tell us what you're picking up so far.
Well, Maharashtra government has now asked for a circular that was issued just 3 days ago by the Maharashtra police to be held off for some time. It is note that this is not revoked, but sources from the Maharashtra police tell Magic Bricks Now that this circular that was issued just 3 days ago stated that any consumer care could go ahead to the Maharashtra police and go to them and state file an FIR with any complaint related to a developer or project delays, and the Maharashtra police had to register this complaint as a cognizable offence and take action accordingly. Now, the Maharashtra police tell us that the circular has been held back by the Maharashtra State's Urban Development Department, and they are possibly considering a modification in the provisions that fall under MOFA or Maharashtra Ownership Flats Act. Remember that the circular earlier stated that any violation of any provision under MOFA was now to be counted as a cognizable offence. But for now, the Maharashtra UT department has decided to hold this circular back, and it will possibly pass it on to the Maharashtra police after making changes in it. Remember, the major reason this was beneficial for the home buyers is because now after filing an FIR, it was now to be treated as a cognizable offence, so it was more power to the home buyer.
All right, thanks for those details, Ruchi. Meanwhile, a sustained campaign against errant developers in the Delhi NCR region pays off. Haryana CM Manohar Lal Khattar to meet distressed Gurgaon home buyers on the 7th of July. This is the CM's third successive meet with home buyers to address their grievances. Now, in view of the rampant project delays, the Haryana government has in fact proposed a series of initiatives for grievance redressal. MRMGF, for instance, has reached out to its buyers with a fresh set of dates for delivery of their homes. In the case of AN Buildwell, however, steps have been taken to halt the liquidation of the company. The focus is on getting home buyers their homes first. Now, the government has also initiated a probe against Unitech, MRMGF and AN Buildwell on the issue of project delays. CM Khattar will be meeting aggrieved buyers again on Thursday. Now, that's one meeting we will keep a close watch here on Magic Bricks Now. Pune could get taller, more spacious buildings if the proposed development control rules or DCR for the city gets the Maharashtra cabinet's approval. The new rules propose allowing developers to build more on the same plot by paying a fee to the corporation. Ruchi Deshpande again joins us with more details. Ruchi, give us highlights of the proposed rules.
Well, Pune, the city of Pune is all set to get a revamped skyline as Pune civic body has set forth a proposal to the Maharashtra government, and this will be about the new DCR or the development control rules. Remember that this is just a proposal at this point, and it has been sent to the Maharashtra government, and it will be after some consideration that it is sent back to the PMC. One of the most important aspects in this proposed draft are the fact that Pune may get fungible as well as premium FSI. Now this concept is new to the city of Pune. This has already been implemented in Mumbai. So let me just take you through what the details of this are regarding the FSI. Well, the overall FSI or floor space index for the city of Pune is proposed to be capped at a maximum of 3.5. Plus, this FSI will now be linked to the area of the plot in the city. Now, going a little more into details, this move has basically been done by the Pune Municipal Corporation in order to reduce the dependency on the TDR or transfer of development rights. They want to control it to a certain extent. So, when a builder wants to avail of this FSI, the premium or fungible, he can do so by paying a certain premium to the Pune Municipal Corporation. Now, the premium FSI here is capped at 60% of the base FSI. It will cost 30% of the land or the ready reckoner rate, whereas fungible FSI on the other hand is capped, or which means that it can go to up to 30% of the net plot area where it has been used for, and this will basically cost about 50% of the ready reckoner or the land rate in that area. So again, this has been sent to the Maharashtra government for consideration, and it is just a proposal at this point yet to be implemented.
All right, Ruchi, thank you for bringing us those exclusive details there. Now, to tell us how this move will impact the Pune property market, we're joined in by Shantanu Mazumdar of Knight Frank. Mr. Mazumdar, lovely having you on the show. First of all, tell us, what is your take on the new DCR for Pune?
I think it's a right step in terms of that the new DCR is talking about an increase in FSI, and wherein the concept of fungible FSI and premium FSI is getting introduced into Pune, which was actually a concept which was prevailing in Mumbai, and that is only going to going to increase the density of the development, and obviously there is going to be some positive impact in terms of pricing. There is going to be a pricing cooling also that will happen, and it will keep the pricing also at check.
All right, now Pune is all set to get fungible FSI and premium FSI. How will this impact the market?
See, from a market point of view, I would say in terms of development wise, we will see more development in terms of the location wherein we were not able to consume much of FSI. In fact, we had only one FSI, which was a basic FSI, and then we had the basic TDR, which was 60%. Now, in those particular locations wherein you can go up to 2 FSI, now there is a possibility of going up to from a 2.5 FSI to up to a 3.5 FSI, depending on the road width.
Okay, also tell us, apart from increased FSI and changes in the parking space, what else do you think needs to be modified in the Pune DCR?
See, the Pune DCR is in fact covering a lot of suggestions in terms of there were issues with regard to reservation lands, there were issues wherein with regard to road which was getting taken away from the landowners, so the compensations and other things were not in line with the actual land pricing. So I think from that point of view, today if in the new DCR, if somebody's road is going away or there is a reservation, he is not just getting a 1 FSI, he is actually getting more than 2 times of FSI in lieu of the reservation area or the land that he is losing.
Okay, also tell us, will this impact property prices in any way?
Short-term basis, it won't impact. I think more than price impact, it is going to keep the price at check. But on a long-term basis, because actually it is going to impact on the land pricing, because the more you go vertically up, the pressure on the land pricing will come, and that's where we see that there is at least going to be a 10 to 15% correction coming onto the land prices, and if that happens, then eventually that particular thing will translate into the per square feet price for the end user. So that's where probably there is going to be an impact on a long-term basis or to the end users in terms of the pricing, the ticket sizes.
All right, Mr. Mazumdar, thank you so much for joining us here on Magic Bricks. Now, shifting focus to Mumbai, encroachments and urban development has upped flood risk in areas surrounding rivers such as Oshiwada and Mithi, says a recent study by professors at IIT Bombay. According to the study, between 1996 and 2009, built-up area has increased by nearly 75%, thereby increasing the chances of flood hazards in these areas. But on Magic Bricks now, we ask, does that mean we will see a repeat of 2005 very soon? Joining us to give us more perspective on this is Professor Eldo, the author of the study. Mr. Eldo, thank you so much for joining us here on Magic Bricks now. First of all, tell us, what are the reasons for increased flood hazards in Oshiwada?
From 1966 to 2009, there is the built-up areas increased by 74.84 or 75% increased. And then the open lands decreased by about 43% in this 43 years period. And then water body, water body is generally used for the as a detention pond or the holding pond where the heavy rainfall takes place. Then water will be stored in those areas, but that also decreased by about 62%. So due to these variations, these land use land cover variations, what has happened is that whenever heavy rainfall takes place, then the flood hazard increases. The river cannot carry that much storm water through the river system, and then you can see that lot of encroachment took place for the river basin, and the area of the cross section area of the river decreased, the width of the river decreased. So that way the drainage, the river cannot drain so much of water, the flow cannot take place. So that is why the peak flow increased.
All right, so then tell us this, if there is heavy rainfall, which areas will be impacted the most?
Actually, you can see that this Oshiwara river or the even Mithi river, all these things, you can see that they are joining the creek. So most affected area will be actually which is near to the coast, and then the surrounding of the river system. Since as I already mentioned, the river cross sectional area is decreased due to the encroachment. So you can see that our flood hazard map, you can see that most affected area, very high risk area will be the surrounding the river. So where due to the cross sectional area decreased, and then also whenever most of the time you can see that whenever heavy rainfall takes place, you can see that the high tide will be also taking place. So when high tide takes place, the flow, the water coming through the river cannot discharge to the creek or to the sea, and due to high tide, the water level will be increasing at the river mouth, and then that water will be flowing back to the river.
Also tell us then, with this study, what solutions do you propose? What should the government do?
So long-term solution, as you can see, after 26 July 2005 flooding, so we have done a lot of work for Mithi river widening and deepening. So for this Oshiwara and then Poisar, all these rivers also we can take the protection measures. If we make an appropriate plan, like now say for example municipal corporation making a development plan for next 20 years. So when we can, if we can incorporate these kinds of flood hazard mapping, flood risk assessment mapping for entire Mumbai based upon these kinds of studies, so that will be very useful for the total development, and also we can create awareness to the people, and then also for existing building or existing areas we can go for risk assessment map or flood hazard map for the purpose of insurance, say for insurance of the buildings or for the safety of the building, and then we can make a final disaster management plan in case if any kinds of 26 July 2005 repeat again, we will be having better disaster management plan by using these kinds of studies.
All right, Mr. Eldo, thank you so much for joining us here on Magic Bricks. Now, moving on now, will repair potholes and bad roads within 48 hours, promises Mumbai's Civic Body Commissioner Ajay Mehta. While the promise will definitely cool down angry urban commuters temporarily, we find out if the BMC can work its magic wand. Has work begun on ground? My colleague Aishwarya Palawal gets us this report.
BMC had set two deadlines for itself to repair all the roads within Mumbai before monsoon hits. But as you can see behind me, this very crucial road which connects Kalina to BKC is riddled with potholes. Now, BMC Chief Ajoy Mehta has come out and promised the citizens that in the next 28 hours, in the next 24 to 48 hours, most of the road repair work within Mumbai would be completed. He said he'll personally go and inspect all the existing wards within Mumbai to keep a check whether BMC officials are doing their work or not. Now, we are here today. We'll be back after 48 hours to keep a check whether BMC is doing its work or whether this monsoon will be as bad for the citizens as it has been for the past many years. Now, on an average, Mumbai citizens are taking close to 3 hours to reach back from work or to reach work. Most of the citizens with whom we had a word with said that civic authorities every year come out and make n number of promises, but every year they face the same problem. They say one of the major issues is the bad surfacing of the road and immense waterlogging that they are facing. They are saying it takes 3 hours to reach work, and 4, that means on an average they are spending 6 hours in their vehicles just to reach work. They are really hoping that the BMC Chief Ajoy Mehta keeps up his promise, and in the next 48 hours they can see some relief, they can see some road repair work, and they can reach work on time and leave on time.
Issuing a blatant threat like this is simply illegal. Why would you do something like this?
He is basically a politician. He wants to create a sensation. It's a publicity stunt, absolutely.
People like Singh who do nothing.
Okay,
go
hang
to
on.
court,
Don't make this personal.
file PLA.
Don't make this personal.
Make
Don't
money
make
out
this
of it.
personal.
If you were serious, you would have actually kidnapped.
Let's not blame each other anymore. Let's actually give a suggestion right now.
I want all corporate companies like L&T or something like that to come in routes.
I think the problem is much larger, and that is how the solution has to be in an integrated manner.
Vicious system, if it is improved, then only these corporate companies will come and Mumbai will see better roads.
External agencies to be appointed to audit the work done by municipal corporation.
Some of them are really viable, and I guess they should be taken up. Apart from that, there should be also social audit to be done.
Are you watching The Urban Debate? Only on Magic Bricks Now.
Moving on to a story that is making a noise for all the right reasons. The Mumbai High Court will listen to a petition against noise pollution in the city on Thursday. According to a recent study by the Central Pollution Control Board, Mumbai is the country's noisiest city, and the major reasons for this are traffic and round-the-clock construction activity. My colleague Aishwarya Palwal sent us this report earlier today mapping Mumbai's noisiest areas.
The noise that you can hear behind me has been creating havoc for the life of Mumbai citizens. The havoc is so grave that across Mumbai, all the way from Sion up to Leelavati Hospital in Bandra, the decibels that have been measured are way above the permissible levels. Across all these major areas, we see that the decibels are close to 50 points above the permissible levels, which means that anyone who's staying in all these areas has been affected by them, and also going forward, many people staying here will be affected and will have to visit hospitals. Now, the Bombay High Court has taken the civic authorities to task. In the last hearing, Bombay High Court had asked BMC to prepare a very comprehensive report with measurements across 1200 locations in Mumbai. Now, the next hearing will take place on 7 July, and the Bombay High Court wishes to see a very comprehensive report from BMC in this hearing. Otherwise, they say that they'll take civic authorities to task. One of the major reasons why such a high level of noise pollution is ailing Mumbai is because of the long number of construction hours. Earlier, construction used to start from 7 a.m. till 7 p.m. But now, recently, BMC has increased these number of hours, and from 6 in the morning till 10 p.m. in the night, construction can go on. This hearing on 7 July is extremely crucial, as Bombay High Court, the judges said that if they do not get a comprehensive report, and if that report is not up to the mark, then they'll take BMC to the task, and they might also force them to reduce the number of construction hours so that the life of Mumbai citizens is not affected.
Time to talk interiors now. What if you could have a home that was free-spirited in nature, one that is not only aesthetically pleasing but is also functional in nature? Well, if you've always wondered how you can have a functional space that is used to its potential, then here's a slice from this week's episode of the Interiors Show.
So there were no rules, no regulations, no boundaries, and I think that essentially became, the brief for us, and hence, we call it free-spirited.
Tell me, what are those rules that you've actually broken in this house?
Not every day you get the opportunity to do a living dining space that's about 900 square feet.
Yeah.
So we said, let's have fun with it. Let's treat the elements, the furniture, as objects and sculpture. So this unit was essentially constructed on site to make it look more monolithic and as one unit.
So it's an island which actually sort of doubles up as the dining area, but also sort of transforms into this really nice seat which sort of faces the television. So what happens is that in the process we are using this to sort of divide the space into like a formal dining area on the other side and informal TV viewing area.
But tell me something, having a structure as bulky as this, doesn't that limit the opportunity to sort of experiment in the space?
Not exactly, because I think it in fact becomes a conversation starter at times, because it is something that everything is organized around.
And what did the client think about it? I mean, did they know that this was coming?
So of course we presented the layout to them, we presented like a conceptual design, there was a presentation, and they bought the idea. So
there was this conversation where like one of the family members was like, oh, I can't sort of cut through the space. So as designers, you are choreographing the space. So like we are choreographing that you walk around it rather than through it. So I think
choreographing their space and their thought process as well. So tell me something about the kind of material that has been used for this.
It's a synthetic material, it's Korean. It comes in panels, but then once you lay the panels and you just buff it, you can get a complete seamless finish. So if you see what Jasim was talking about, the whole monolithic feel to it, we were able to achieve that because we use this material.
This thing really caught my attention because it's not the usual center table that we see.
No, it essentially doubles up as a footrest as well, but it can also function as something that you can pull out, and it becomes additional seating when you have more guests.
Yes. Also tell me about the lights, the choice of lights here. You've used something which actually doesn't look like lights unless they're on.
It's a 900 square feet ceiling, so when you're looking at it, sometimes light fixtures, when they're switched off, they don't look that interesting. So these lights were actually customized, these LED lights, they are on dimmers. And of course, the cost factor on those were higher, so we sort of balanced that out with smaller task lights that are readily available in the market. These again are Corvi lights, like how we used Corvi lights in the workspace.
Yes. Behind you also I see another something that looks like a sculpture or rather a piece of art to me. Is that what the intention was?
This is one area where we said, okay, we can have art as well as it can double up as something which is utilitarian. So it works as a bench as well, and the process applied here also is similar to the table and sofa in the sense it was constructed on site using the process of laminating wood logs together and then shaping it on site. This is something that was handcrafted, hand technique. So you're using hand techniques here, but then we have a unit over there on the other side which was created using a manufacturing process.
Let's go ahead and see what the fundamental difference was between something that's handcrafted and something that's manufactured.
Sure. Like Jasim said that the bench over there was completely handcrafted, but over here we've used wood, but then we've applied the technique of CNC routing.
What is that?
It's computer numerical control, but actually it's robots that are basically just doing this bit for it. So we created this pattern in 3D on a software in the office, and then that was provided to the fabricator, and we also provided the material to him, and he sort of used this robotics to sort of create this whole pattern.
How affordable or expensive is this?
Now here the material itself is expensive because it is wood. But if you were to replace wood with MDF, obviously it would have been cheaper as a material.
Also tell me about the wall that is adorned with a lot of pictures and photographs here. Have you sourced it from somewhere or have you just clicked it? That's another talent that you have.
No, so we do have a friend who has an Instagram account that has this great artwork that she clicks, and another great thing is that this can be done in a cost-effective manner, because if you have a friend that clicks great photos, so you can get neat artwork out of that. Talking about the wall finish, that's a grey cementatious Pandomo wall finish. And then what we have here are these white Spanish tiles. And the reason they are put on this wall is because they're further away from the window. It helps carry the light further into the space, being white.
With that, we've completely run out of time here on the Property News on Magic Bricks Now. Thank you for watching.
You can watch live TV on our website mpnow.in. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/magicbricksnow. And don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at Magic Bricks Now. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/magicbricksnow.